NeutraDC Summit 2024 brings together industry leaders, experts, and also stakeholders from all across the region. Through this event, it is a unique platform for them to be able to collaborate, network, and also discuss the future of the digital infrastructure. To know more about the topics being presented, we'll be speaking with one of the speakers from this year's lineup. And yes, Sobat Telkom, I am now with one of the speakers at the NeutraDC Summit 2024, PJ Go, who is the CEO of Cirrascale. So hello PJ, how are you?
Hi Sarah.
Welcome to Bali and welcome to the NeutraDC Summit 2024. How are you liking Bali so far?
Oh, it's quite lovely. It's beautiful.
It's very lovely to have you here as well, the NeutraDC Summit. And we'd like to know more, especially regarding the future opportunities for the data center industry in particular, especially in meeting the AI demand from your perspective.
Yeah, of course. So what's interesting about AI is it really provides three challenges to the data center industry.
Which are?
Number one is it requires a lot of power. And not only does it require a lot of power for the data center, but typically you have to focus that power into a very small space. Before AI, the typical rack density would be about 3 to 6 kilowatts per rack. But with AI, that is now 50 kilowatts a rack, and then it's going to 100 to 150 kilowatts per rack. And so that's providing a lot of challenges, not only from a power perspective, but from a cooling perspective as well. And then the third challenge is connectivity. As AI gets deployed to more and more people, I think the customers will really require faster and faster responses from AI. And that means that the data centers are going to have to be spread all over the place and be closer to the customers.
To be closer to the customers.
Right.
And now you are at the summit, the NeutraDC Summit 2024, and one of the output of the summit, of course, is collaboration. For Cirrascale itself, what convinced you and also Cirrascale to collaborate with NeutraDC?
So I moved here to Southeast Asia about a year ago, and we've been looking for data center partners who can provide the power, the connectivity, and the cooling to deploy AI workloads here. And NeutraDC checks all of those boxes. From a power perspective, the Cikarang data center has more than enough power. And from a cooling perspective, because this was a brand new data center, it has all the latest technologies. So we can very easily cool 50 kilowatts a rack today, and in the near future, 100 kilowatts to 150 kilowatts per rack.
And you just moved here just last year in the region, Southeast Asia.
Yes, that's correct.
How do you see the market potential for the region itself?
Oh, it's quite exciting. It's actually one of the reasons why I moved here. I co-founded Cirrascale in the US. And as you know, in the US, AI is exploding. It's everywhere. And I see the same thing happening here in Southeast Asia. Maybe we're about 6 months to 12 months behind in certain things, but I think that we will catch up very, very quickly.
What do you think is the best way to win the market potential in Southeast Asia?
I think we have to focus on use cases and the customer. How do we help the customer do something that they haven't done before? For example, I think that AI is going to allow many more people to create software and code, because instead of having to learn all of the different software languages, all of the different algorithms, one can go and ask ChatGPT, how do I code an application to rate podcasts for their content?
Yes.
And I think that will help a lot of people who previously may have been afraid to start coding, to actually start creating software.
Okay. And now, speaking of the collaboration, which we have just mentioned earlier, what are the goals and also the expectations, especially for the collaboration in building the AI ecosystem?
Yeah. So our first goal is really to make sure that our systems work well together. And that means we can install our equipment into the NeutraDC data centers and have them perform well, again, from a power perspective, from a cooling perspective, and a connectivity perspective. And we're going to start with 50 kilowatts, but then we're going to start deploying larger workloads per rack as the new technology comes out. Second one is then deploying that to customers and making sure that the customers are happy with what they're getting from us and what they're getting from NeutraDC from a service perspective.
Wonderful, PJ. And just one last question. One word to describe the NeutraDC Summit. Just one word.
I'd have to say innovative.
Innovative.
Yes, I've heard a lot of the speakers today really provide a vision of how AI will change things here in Indonesia and in Southeast Asia, and how the participants here can help with that change.
Wonderful innovation, and we're looking forward to the more innovative ideas and also output from the collaborations made as well. Thank you, PJ, for your time on Heard on the Street. Yes, Sobat Telkom, that was our discussion with PJ Go, the CEO of Cirrascale, one of the speakers at NeutraDC Summit 2024. Stay tuned on Heard on the Street on Telkom's YouTube channel for more episodes only from NeutraDC Summit 2024. Sampai jumpa!